So there's a verse from Lord Rendawa. It appears in one of his replies to questions that were posed to him, and the beginning of this verse says that just as things appear in the world, the way that things appear in the world, and then the way that that they're imagined to exist by the various kinds of philosophical views that have been contrived by philosophers of other traditions, as well as the philosophers within our own traditions, and then also the way that these things are conceived by the natural misapprehension of things that exist within everyone without any kind of special philosophy required. So the natural misapprehension of things as being real, that is like darkness, this kind of darkness that clouds our minds. The object which is misconceived by that, those kinds of philosophically contrived misapprehensions of the way things are, or just the way they're misunderstood in sort of ordinary worldly knowledge, as well as the way they're misunderstood by philosophically developed ideas about the way things are, and then also the natural innate form of the misapprehension of things as being real. All of those are like darkness clouding the mind, and but the sun and the moon of the oral tradition, the scriptural tradition, and likewise reasoning can clear away the light rays from that sun and moon can clear away all of that darkness.
Oh yeah, namda luri ani dase chi namda luri eji rapsane ani nandam nine ani tomba towa tomba toze nawa matorwa wa tomba toze kala nawa metoba ani sundu jubi sana tetawi nandon sundu jubi tola ngewa nam nyeba ti tsena ani ti ti kawa jiwel no la shuba yinsi.
When the stainless, correct scriptures and correct reasoning, the light rays from that, which are like the sun and the moon, when those have dispelled all of this darkness, then one is able to integrate the appearance of things with their emptiness. That is, things appear and yet they are empty. So these two things can be integrated, brought together, such that they're unified. So when one has done this, such that one has integrated appearance and emptiness by means of correct scriptural understanding of the scriptural tradition, as well as stainless or faultless reasoning, then one has entered into the path which pleases the victorious Buddhas.
Oh yeah, then lamzo kaso namshi renjo meba chijadu then the melu toma zimjin mari wa kase teje toni de betalepe kanshi kwande chana tamjeji günde na mibe günde na luwa mesoje mibe deso kanyi kuishiba tine sanje jiwi lamla shu sete ta jibachiyaje lama yasa kwamba jidupani 봐. 간시 콘대 천나 탐제기 근데 나면 루바 매통신 된데 조처체 아주 근데 미비대서 간시 봐세 가라 난 나유 매라 아니 된생기 대서 된생기 신유 봐 시비 동바 또 왔나 나도 송주 또 왔나 아니 자와 기회라라 슈바 대당 지바 간시 콘텐츠나 탐제기 균대나마 루와 메송시 미비대소 강의 군시바 tenye sanje jiwe lamla shu sedi ta lama yeso komba jik tsupa gwe wari
nangwe
anshi kwande chana tamchechi yunde namya luwa me tongshi tongbe kaso le nangzam tongbe me la ane nangwa me toba nangwe me la ane tongba towa ta junten jikpa cheche.
So then the same exact thing is said in the three principal aspects of the path of Je Rinpoche. And this is where the master Rendawa as like his spiritual father and his own view as the spiritual son coincide or in exactly the same position. So it says in that verse from the three principal aspects of the path, it says, for one, one who sees cause and effect, which are never controvertible, they're never deceptive or can be contradicted, sees the cause and effect of all of the phenomena of samsara and nirvana, seeing that, the infallibility of dependent origination, then one destroys entirely the source or focal point of this, which is observed by the misconception of the way things as being real. Then, seeing of appearance, when one sees appearance as it is, then that also destroys the conceived object of the misapprehension that things are real. And so in that way then dependent origination functions to establish emptiness, and when one sees it in that way, as we've said already, then one has entered into the path which pleases the Buddhas.
Oh yeah, that tender we nando sunju ane toba cheba la dang ana so kasore tesam yitan la ba ko wa yin zang da ka sang shi zu ma de na ka sang ko wa ro da di da ye ge chiwa ji ya chen ne wa ju zhe ge zhe ba ji ge ne sang jie ji qi da wa qin bi yi xi ji tuan dan bi dan ba yin na ani ju zhe la na ba te da bu rang xie tong me ba ni ma yin nam 대지 안에 대다그 랑신 매바 랑신 통 매바니 마이남 대지 대다그 지다 시시 세나 대메지 마세비수지 대다그 세소 시 지양 마세바라 태관안에 세바 셰신 디세지도 전단된 바 탐제 친비 이시기 유라대와 셰바 장바탕 상제게 살아 섬정주 주와된 로바 셰바탕 안 상제지 풍소 마세나 아니 똑지 가수 아니 내가 내가 임비 쳐라 똑라 소와기 아니 산에 그 쳐다제 첨바셔 받아 기타 민가시나 시다데 갖다 받을 당원 첨바셔.
So in order to establish this integration of appearance and emptiness, we have to first we have to establish it through study, through reflection about it, and then through meditation. So yesterday, going through the text, we arrived at the point where there's some controversies that are presented about this system. And in the text, then it says that, and the opponent here is saying that if the Buddha's gnosis, which knows things as they are, was to find ultimate reality, then it says in the commentary on the introduction to the Middle Way that if someone asks if is that sort of isn't it the case that that sort of seeing of nature in that aspect isn't that non-existent? And that being the case, how is it that they see, that is the Buddhas, if someone says that, then the reply to that is said in the commentary there is, although that's true, however, by not seeing, they see it. We have to say that. So that's Chandrakirti's reply in that context. And the opponent who's presenting the argument here, it says that interprets that as saying that not seeing anything at all is explained by Chandrakirti as the vision of reality. And as evidence for that, they say that that ultimate reality has passed beyond being an object of the omniscient gnosis. And they quote various explanations which superficially, or which state that ultimate reality has passed beyond being an object of omniscient gnosis. And then they also say that, or they refer to places where Chandrakirti says that on the Buddha level, on the level of Buddhahood, all of the roaming of mind and mental factors has completely been stopped. That explanation is the second point that they make. And then they also make out the point, or draw up the point that when the Buddhas see, they say that if the Buddhas don't see the aggregates, etc., then at the time of, within the context of discussing the 10 powers of the Buddha, the 10 powers of the Buddha include the comprehension of that which exists and that which does not exist. Then how is it that a Buddha could be explained to be omniscient in the sense of knowing all phenomena? So they raise all of these points, and if one does that, then the next comes the reply to all of these controversies that the opponent has raised.
Oh yeah, that digi kasore land dela, that tambo land tambo dela. Ludi chitawa chimbi yishiji tendam singoro. Kunjo mami batamba mengawani. Sta masibi chuji si shewadi. Karisugu ware yasa masibi chuji si shewani. Yu kanyi tamja matongwala chigum ares. Yu kanyi tamja matongwala chigum ares. Te matongna ane chitawa chimbi yishidigi singoro. Ane samotomba tekwana niya matongwa kogo ware. 어디 인담 태권에 마동아 마동 고기와 인담 요 강의 담자 마동아라 미치치 마리베라루지 튀 미바티남 지가나 마리베라루지 레비 아니 요라 미바 군조와티남 아미 요 군조와티남 다 가소래 군조와티남 덴바 춤나 태권한이도 여봐면 덴바 춤나 파변냠샤게 삼이 이시 미거와래 그 덴바이나 소군조와 된다 덴바 춤나 덴바인고래 덴바이나 아니 덴바 시바게 파변냠샤게 생고 요고 그래 태권한이도 있나 파변냠샤 삼이 이시지 미거와래 걔는 아니 가서래 파반냠샤기 춘이시비 생월 지양 마시바래. 그봐 지양 마시비 고네 아니 군조비 최대다기 아니 태권에 있었던 바인. 군조비 최대다기 태권에 있었던 사례 군조비 최대다 냠샤기 생월 매바디 군조비 최대다기 태권하래. 그봐 군조비 최대다 파반냠샤 이시기 춘이시비 생월 매바데 전단된바 와 어디서 인자 대수도와 이시진미 거와래 태양 지양 마시비 관에 생월 지양 마시비 관에 대다게 태권한이 시시가나 대다 생월 매바데 시바레 대다 생월 매바데 태권한이 인장 대다 태월 매바데 시바된 바 인데 가자 연나 일수 rumale mami ba nyile 와 가자 냠자기 생으로 가자 군조와 대다 연나 미거와래 미수 rumale mami ba nyile 냠자기 생으로 가자 군조와 대다 까바 또바 좀 치로 Yeah.
So then the reply to this, here the opponent is saying that in this system, that the reply has multiple parts to it, and the first part is that in this system, the gnosis which understands things as they are, within the perspective of its vision of the ultimate, it doesn't observe phenomenal things, so yet that doesn't entail the contradiction that the opponent has posited in the argument given above. And then the text here explains this as follows, that where it says they see by means of not seeing, that doesn't mean that they don't see, it's not to be taken as meaning that they don't see any kind of object at all, that they don't see any sort of object at all. Rather, it's the case that the phenomenal things which are observed by the force of the timora, that sort of eye disease of ignorance, that sees things that are non-existent, those sort of phenomenal things, if they existed in reality, then they would have to necessarily be observed by the gnosis, which the uncontaminated gnosis of a Arya's meditative equipoise. That here is referring specifically to the Arya's meditative equipoise, which is has as its object emptiness. So emptiness is what is seen within that, and not phenomenal things. Phenomenal things like so that. So it's actually this. The text here is then teaching that by not seeing those things in any way, those phenomenal things in any way, this text is showing that the Buddhas and Aryas see the reality of these things in that way. That is, by not seeing the phenomenal things. They see their reality, which is an absence, a lack of the way in which they appear phenomenally as existing as real. So by not seeing that, they see the reality of these things. If the object of negation existed, it would have to be observable, the object of negation being existing as established as real. And that non-observation of the object of negation itself establishes that there is an understanding of the negation of the object of negation.
Oh yeah. 그래서 어디에다 가짜되나 미소로 봐라 미반이래 가짜데 까봐 또봐 줘버렸어. 다 마동안에 통화 탐바고 시험 통화매반에 통화 탐바고 세 지금 민자요아 이제 직반인 말이 아 다음 냠샤기 취이 시비 생으로 아니 군조가 대답해 봐 아니 수소군조와 대다 그 천이 세비 시행어를 수소군조와 대다 통화 매받더니 아니 통화 담발에 천이 세비 시행어를 아니 수소군조와 매받더니 아니 천이 인장 대대장바 통화 매받더니 아니 천이 통화래 통화 매받니 아니 통화 탐바고 하나 마동안에 통화 탐바고 냠샤기 시 천이 시비 시용으로 아니 수소군조비 천나 마동바디 아니 통화 탐바 아니 대관하니 통화래.
So then, again, to say it another way, it's the text then continues saying that not seeing is the best seeing, the best kind of vision. Not seeing is the best kind of vision. Here, this is referring again to this within the perspective of the Arya gnosis, which is absorbed on the nature of things, dharmata, no phenomenal things appear within the perspective of that vision of dharmata, the final nature of things. So the non-seeing of the phenomenal things within the perspective of that So then, yes, the non-seeing of the phenomenal things within the perspective of this vision, which is seeing dharmata, the final nature of things, is itself the best kind of seeing.
Oh yeah, that my don't want to talk about Jibache, right? Chinese CB Chungun, Annie Chojan Gunzo, Madon Wadi, Annie Nelutonare, Tomatamare.
So then, again, this non-observation, non-seeing of phenomenal things within the perspective of this this vision, which is seeing the nature of things. This is referring to the final, the actual way things actually exist, the final nature of things. Then that is the best kind of vision.
Oh yeah, that take a la. Ane do to be sooner me don't choa taja me don't sing. Do she toma mela samba me don't sing. Kala number shedan, semi tom meba, tenny chudon is tishin then. Said it, that dimary. So sooner me don't choa taja me don't sing, see gana, pungso, pumbo, our tegi. Ani Chinese be single. Bena subi Chinese be single. Ani su maton. What tishin to choadang, do shedang, number shawa las of a rangi, Chinese be single, ani chojan rara matonwa. Chojan ram maton wadi, ani so tezaki Chinese toma. Dudwa. Dini chodon yishi, Kala number shetan semi tom mebe. Or number shewa las of the Junior, Namshiki Pagi, Ani Pumbonga or Tegi, Rangi, Chini Sibi, Singoro, Choja Ram meba tonga, Choja Ram meba tonga te, Ani Chojan Tedan Tedaki, Neru tonga re. Said Dini chodon yishi.
So the text, which is a source for this, is what follows. This is from the verse abridgment of the Perfection of Wisdom. And here it says that not seeing physical forms, not seeing them, not seeing sensations also, not seeing ideation, not seeing intention, or here this also refers to activities in general, or activities, not seeing them, not seeing consciousness, mind, or intellect, not seeing those. This, the Tathagata has indicated, is the vision of the Dharma. So here, this again indicates that within the perspective of this, the vision, which is seeing the nature of things, the dharmata, the final nature of things, the things which are the base of that nature, the things which possess that nature are not, do not appear. They're not observed. So, for example, physical forms, their final nature is dharmata. The final nature of them is just that dharmata. So within the vision which sees dharmata, the forms, etc., do not appear, and it goes through all five of the aggregates of physical forms, sensations, ideation, and then it says here intention, which is a type of mental activity, and then consciousness, mind, intellect, etc. So the Buddha has indicated that, or the Tathagata has indicated that this is the vision of the Dharma.
Oh yeah. Tini chodong shi tishi shewa chen ten. Nanga tong shi semje tido ra do ba nanga chita tong de didi taba ji se ta de bela sha gore. Ora ma tya na shi chani. Ani nanga senga de ani topi ri ba cha sam la sha gore. Ani nanga tong am to ba de ani ga cha ju do yen na mi su rong a le. Ga cha ju do ma dong wa la. Ani nanga che ba nanga tong a nanga o cheba dan tawari sedra nanga tongshi semje tido rajwe ba nanga teda chita tongde diche taba ji that's all Quran.
So then the verse text here continues by giving an example, and it says, just as sentient beings express or they say that I see space, and one should examine the way in which space is seen. Examine this here, examine this, meaning the reality, dharmata, or final nature of things, as in the way it's, the way space is seen, so this here should be examined. So, again, to restate that sentient beings verbally state, I see space. And one should examine this in the way that space is seen. And then down below, subsequently, this example will be explained that space, when one sees space, what one is seeing is the absence of some kind of tangible obstructing thing. Actually, so this will be explained later.
Oh yeah, tadi teta chodong wa de tishi xie je tong bei xian ji ni ne ba yin se o de tong gu de yam de la ki ba xie mi dong wa pong pong a tong me ba pong pong a tong ni che se de te ko na ni mi dong wa ni pong wa ni tong ni che xie song la 태권한이 통화대 태권한이 되어래 마동만의 통화 탐바 세대 태권한 풍소 태권한의 시비 생으로 매바데 아니 풍소의 친이 통화 인자 마동와데 친이 시비 생으로 풍보가 마동와 통화대 아니 친이 시비 생으로 풍소 매바 통화대 태권한이 통화제 수된진 딴데 통화대 최통호 also tenjin dewa tongwa di che tongwo te che tongwo se kansa sudan sui tenje che tongwo se ta tenda dile jawa de yina tenjin dewa junwa tenje sula sobe tenje jin owo teta yamsha ki singwo de ma tongwa te ani che tongwa wo wa ti chen tongwa xie sun ba xin o. Yeah.
So then the last couple lines of this verse say that the Tathagata has indicated seeing the Dharma thus. Seeing cannot be expressed by another example. And then the explanation of this follows. It says, that which is not seen are the five aggregates, and that which is seen is Dharma. It says that. And so here Dharma has the meaning of reality. And as mentioned here within the context of the vision, which is seeing the nature of things, like the nature of the aggregates. The aggregates are the base, which or the possess that nature as a property. So within the context of the vision, which is seeing that nature, the aggregates themselves do not appear. The nature itself is what is seen. So here again, that's what's said here in the text, that that which is not seen are the five aggregates, and that which is seen is the Dharma. And this has the sense of Dharma here has the sense of reality. And then it also says, just as it said that whoever sees dependent origination sees the Dharma.
Oh yeah. That touching bed sub chin taswa. Tiang Bena Nangani Tobi Jazamila. Tetong Tobani, Gaja Tibdo Yana, Mr. Rumale. I Madonwala, I never got to do Madonwala, Gaja Jazam, Judo Jazam de la Ananga Jobata, Dan Dragre. Rade, Tiang Towani, Nangatang, Madonwani, and then Judo. Or Tepeti Sindu, and you Towa member, Obo Towa Sindu. Tekwana you Towa, the Gamba Tambani Kako, said the Oyamage, Gamba Tamani. Gamba Tamanigo, or the Dachudon was it, she said, Tom Bessan never knew my yin, said Deggy. Or Betty Sindu, Tom member, Obo Towa Sindu, and a Tekwana you Towa de Tom Bessan ever knew my yin, see, Obo Towa Sindu, and a Tekwana you Tom Mares. Or Carres and a Pumbonga Madonwa, Sumbe. Ane same nyamsha yeshi ki tekwana ni sibi singuru ana pumbonga tonga member dambares pumbonga tonga member dambares.
So then the example then is given here, the explanation of the example and the meaning of it is that thus for example space is the mere elimination of obstructive tangible things. An obstructive tangible thing is what space is, and seeing or understanding that if some kind of obscuring obstruction, which is the object of negation, is there, then rather than being observed, one doesn't see it. And so just like that. So here again, to restate this example, with respect to space, if an obscuring obstruction is present, then the space cannot be seen, and it's only when the obscuring obstruction is absent that one sees it. So just like that, here also, that which is seen is in the example that's given here, that which is seen is space, and that which is unseen is the obscuring obstruction. And so just like in that example, without seeing
Obo Tonga Sindu Tekwana you Tonga, Ani Gamba Tamani Gavares. Tekwana is the Gombo Tonga Sindu, Ani Tekwana Thomas Kayana, Pumbonga Madonga, Pumbonga Madonga Jaguar.
So here then, without seeing without seeing the aggregates, etc., then one sees reality, and the last two lines out of the verses that are quoted there negate the idea that one would see reality in the same way that one sees something like a patch of blue, a positive thing. So these last two lines again is that the Tathagata has indicated seeing the Dharma thus, that is, without seeing the phenomenal things which are the base of reality. And seeing cannot be expressed by another example. And so this line there says that the same thing, that just like that example, without seeing them, the phenomenal things in that way, one sees a reality, and the last two lines of the text negate the idea that one sees reality in the same way that one sees a positive thing, like a phenomenal thing, like a patch of blue, etc.
Oh yeah. So many of us have made Tekwana and Sibu Singoro. Ani Chojan Kunzo Wateta Tom member Dando. Over Tom Sindu and Tom member.
So then, like just like that, not seeing the five aggregates, the text, the sutra there explains that by not seeing the five aggregates, without seeing the five aggregates, within the perspective of the vision of reality, which is seen by the non-contaminated meditative absorption on reality, then within the perspective of that kind of vision, the base of reality, that is the aggregates, etc., are not seen.
Oh yeah, that the Jubin Doi Namji Tendam Sing when Nina Nuba Sheki and it Tendam Matoba Sumba Mimba or that thing. That the Banyan Jubin Doi Kazoka Hibu or He Puda Tendam be Damba Naba Tamjaji, Chotan Damba, Sena Tabjin about Tamjaji Chotan Damba. Oh, Naba Tamjaji be Yeshiki Yule. 유지 팔란 대화 인데 시간 다 이시기 나바탐 집에 이시기 전단 대화 마도가 대화 말해서 해들이 유지 팔란 대화 인데 시다 전단비 대화고 시제받다는 마이노 시 전담 대화고 시제비세나 로라 유유전 이수 나왔다 아니 로라 유유전 이수 소소 나왔다 미동와라 셰베 와 니스 나왔다 전담된바 자위 로텔라 아니 로라 유유전 니스 소소 나왔다 니 나와 나신 아니 전담 자위 아니 시티기 놈이 시티기 미동와라 셰베 니나 로비 콩인기 다 오텐더와텔라 유당 유전 소소 나바기 니나데 로비 콩인지 산제지 된다 마도비 콩마레. Yeah.
So then the second point is that the sutra on the sutra on entering into the two realities, this explains that within the perspective of the omniscience, which the omniscient vision of reality, within the perspective of omniscience viewing the ultimate, that dual appearance has disappeared. However, that doesn't teach that the ultimate is not understood, is not realized. And then the actual quotation from the introduction to the two realities is cited, and it says, "O Devaputra, ultimate reality possesses the best of all aspects." This is referring to the method portions of it, and it transcends. It is transcended being an object of omniscient gnosis. And then the reason for that is that it is not, as one expresses it, as ultimate reality. As it's expressed as ultimate reality is not. And then the explanation of this is that when one expresses quote ultimate reality unquote, then for that cognition, for that sort of cognition, when it's expressing it, the subject and object appear distinct. The two subject and object appear distinct, and within the context of the omniscient gnosis, which is has validly cognized, validly realized the ultimate. This is here again referring to the awareness which has arisen from reasoning about the final nature of things, which is a valid knowledge with respect to ultimate reality. So for that, then it doesn't see ultimate reality in the same way that it is expressed in words such that when it's expressed in words, it appears to the mind as with subject and object distinct. For this gnosis, then it's not seeing it in that way. And therefore, this text serves as a source for the absence of dual appearance, but it's not a source for the notion that Buddhas don't understand the ultimate.
Oh yeah. That thing is situ theater. Ani judela sunjo. Ano jubarande kaso. Ngo chawa chana mariba. Ranshim bashin ngosumdu. Ani kaso le. Zebe tingi tutsu chibi chi sanje xie jedo. Chani songa nasi chani. Ngo chawa chana mariba si gana. Da tingi kaso le. Tanda. 수소군조비 최남 아니 파베 냠자기 시용으로 매바 시디자마 와 제가 그 천이 시디자마 뭐 최신 군조와 대다라 마리밤 대다 마시바 냠자기 시용어 최신 군조와 대다 마시밤 대다라 아니 마리밤 대다 마시바 최신 군조와 대다기 아니 라신암 천이 바시 라신 바시강 엄 천이 바시 무슨도 제베 아니 대니 투수 치비체 된다비 대권한이 투수 치비체 라신 대권한이 투수 치비체 상제시 제도 시 지다와 집이 이시지 대권한이 집이시 생어로 다 대중에 수소를 자르와 아니 수라소비 아니 수라소바 샤왕라 최전 샤왕데라 마리바 아니 샤왕기 천이 바시 투지 집어송아래.
So the same thing is just as it's explained in that same way of seeing is as it's explained above in the introduction to the Two Realities Sutra. The same thing is taught in the commentary on the Introduction to the Middle Way. So here the commentary on the Introduction to the Middle Way says, without coming into contact with created things. Here, created things refers to phenomenal things, which are the bases of this nature. The phenomenal things which serve as the basis upon which nature exists, or phenomenal things for which nature is a predicate, a quality of them. So without because he understands reality by making nature, it's just nature alone, present manifest in direct perception. Then, without being in contact with any created phenomenal things, that's why he or she or it is called Buddha. Is called Buddha. So then the explanation of that is that within the perspective, as we've said already, within the perspective of the Buddha's gnosis, which understands things as they are, within the perspective of its vision, seeing reality, without being in contact with dependent things. Here, dependent things is another name for the phenomenal things which are the bases for this reality. Without coming into contact with them, being in contact with them, it comprehends dharmata, this nature, final nature of things solely.
Oh yeah. That is right. That yage sanje ji sa la sem ji juwa den lo ba xia ba ge se ke zhe yage ji la 냠샤 가슴지 주와 매바 돌아 송바 남도 그 주와 매바 조주니 냠샤 그 샘충중 그 주와老板이 샘충중 그 주와老板이 태권한 용어숨도 온도 주위세 동반이나 태권한 동반이 라 안에 제주도 냠바샤비 냠샤 아 도메 어떤 것도 주위세 남도 그 주와 로비튼 티내가서 남도 온주와 가잖아요. 그봐 남도 온주와 가발라 저거 말이다. 남도 그 주와 로비튼데 남도 그 주와 로비튼인지 남도 그 주와 로 세데 남도 자원에 매봐 많이 받체 남도 온주와 매봐 대인지 샘선 좀 매봐 때 많이 돼
So then the next point is discussing how within the context of meditative equipoise, sutra says that there's no roaming of mind, and that teaching there is to be understood, is to be explained as meaning that there's an absence of the roaming of conceptuality in that state. And then the commentary here explains that the elimination of the roaming of mind and mental factors refers to when at the time when reality has become manifest, become observed in through direct perception, then the roamings, the manifest roaming of conceptuality has been stopped. It has that sense that when reality is being directly perceived in this context here, then the manifest forms of conceptuality, the roaming movements or roaming of manifest forms of conceptuality have been ceased, but it doesn't mean, this kind of sutra doesn't teach that there are no mind or mental factors at all. So here one has to distinguish between the sort of manifest forms of the movement or roaming of conceptualization versus the complete absence or entire eradication of conceptualization.
태권한이 되니 된다에 태권한이 또비 아니 가서 이시테니 남바 또바메 바이노스 남도 아니 또바 남바 또바메 바이노 요 어야 지게도 다 되게 세제 돌래 전담된 바 강하시나 강하 섬지 주와메 주와메나 이거는 따지메 다메자 지고시 순서 다님 티주라 섬지주와 온주와 메나 이건 하다지 뭐요 시 순서 시 섬지주와 메바 순비테 남도 그주와 남도 온주와 메바를 샤바레.
So then the text that is in which this is discussed is the clear words of Master Chandrakirti. And that says that conceptuality is the roaming of the mind. Because it is divorced from that, that reality is non-conceptual. As it was said in a sutra, if one asks, what is ultimate reality, then where there is not even the roaming of the mind, what need is there to mention letters? So here, and then also the roaming of mind refers to a sort of manifest forms of conceptualization, conceptuality, and not to a complete elimination of conceptuality in total. And then the explanation of this says that the teaching, where the sutra teaches, the meaning of where it teaches that there is no roaming of mind, and here again this is to be understood in the sense of manifest forms of the roaming or operation, movement of mind. That refers to the absence of the roaming of conceptualization. That's what it refers to there, and again qualifying the conceptualization there as being manifest forms of conceptualization in this particular context.
태양 파 남도 그 주와 로세 태양 심지 주와메 바숨베 태 남도 그 주와메 발라 셔서 남도 그 주와메 바샤바 태양 냠시 파바 주와메 바숨베 태 가세 태양 파바 로비 냠샤 그 뒤에서 다 파바 로와 그 냠샤 그 뒤에서 아니 남도 그 주와 온주와 내가 로바를 냠샤 티 내가서 남도 그 온주와 요 말을 마도 안 냠샤 될라 당한테 제도도 야想法되나 아니 남도 그 주와 남도 온주와 영고 말이 인자 냠샤 그 로와 냠샤 그 뒤에서는 남도 그 주와 온주와 때 로바 민지 상제비 뒤에서는 때 당라비 상제비 뒤에서 온주와 마세 아니 남도 그 주와 때 로바 주제를 순서.
So then this is explained further that moreover even in the meditate at the time of meditative absorption, when one is an Arya still on the path of training, then the movements or wandering of conceptualization has not entirely been eliminated or entirely ceased. Here, it means that when one is in that stage, then and arises out of that meditative absorption, then the appearance of or the operation of mind and the roaming or movement of conceptualization reoccurs. But at the time of Buddhahood, when one achieves Buddhahood, then it's completely eliminated, entirely eliminated, stopped. And that's how it's explained in the commentary on the Introduction to the Middle Way.
Oh yeah, that teaches so 가서래 천이 아니 양자 그 생활 천이 시비 생활 여와와 다 군소비 천아 천이 파반양샤 이시 그 천이 시비 생활 이나 아니 된주 대바 주고 와라 인장 안에 다 가서래 전담 대바 된주 주고 와 인장 안에 전담 대바 아니 천이 시비 생활 이나 안에 된주 주고 안에 가서래 된주 연구래 된주 음악이 샤지 메셔바 인장 안에 전담 대바 셔자 많이 봐 말고 와래 인장 수바 전담 대바 셔자 멤버 마와서 라마 코나 인주니 샤양 주제래 라신의 여바 마이나 라신의 여바 마이나 신이 여바 마이나 라신 타도 돼 라신에서 갑자기 라신 타도나 전에 라신 타도 전단 대바 아주 천이엄 전단 대바 여바 마이나 아니 전단 대바 또비 시도 장선 남자 까와 제바 템매바 시전의 제외 두대 지게도 아니 가서래 대다게 랑신 지게도 대다게 랑신야 강식 제체나 야는 되버 주다야
So then this leads into another point where some as mentioned previously in presenting some of the wrong views that are rejected, that those who say that ultimate reality is not an object of knowledge are speaking perversely, and they're merely speaking in a kind of a way that's contrary to the fact. So then this is explained. Moreover, it says in the commentary on the Introduction to the Middle Way, if that nature was non-existent, here nature is referring to the final nature of things and then, so here, as a preface to this, we have to say that if something is 주니식 배싱을 주니식
주니식 배싱을 군도 주니식 배싱을 옛날 된로 연구로 와.
If a phenomenal thing existed within the perspective of the vision which is seeing reality, then that phenomenal thing would be established as real. Scholars who've recognized this have then jump to the wrong conclusion that if likewise the ultimate reality, if it existed within the perspective of a vision of reality, then it too would become established as real. And then, so some of these scholars, as already mentioned, had come to the conclusion that ultimate reality is not an object of knowledge. So here, this is being rejected. And the commentary says that if that nature existed, if that final nature of things existed, then, if it did not exist, if that final nature did not exist, then the bodhisattvas engaging in extensive hardships, performing difficult practices, would become, and doing those extensive difficult practices in order to understand that reality would become pointless. And this is established together with the texts that this is proven together with the texts that establish this.
Oh yeah, 그때 지게도 대다그 랑신 강식 쨌나 대다그 쩌마 마인바당 다 쩌마 마인바 랑신 다도 돈이 쩌마 군조라 고고와리 쩌마 마인바 된다마 是吧 대다그 쩌마 마인바당 아니显了对我们把抗引把的显了让马来吧让对我们把抗引把的显了对我们把抗引把的马日被热日当拆为现在倒把拆为马日被热日当拆为现在倒把拆为让给我带让心的得说的是吧让心的쩌마 마인 바당 아니 유전显了对我们做的但유전显了对我们把抗引把的马日被热日当查为现在倒把查哇马日热日当查哇塞的马日把当提卡加爬加抗容给来把当查为아니现在倒把查哇的现在倒把查个让我
Then so it's the evidence for this, the text which explains it is, as it is said, the nature for them, here nature again is referring to the ultimate reality, emptiness. If you ask what that nature is for them, it's for them not artificial and not contingent upon another. It's the own condition of that which is to be understood by an awareness which is separate from the timara of ignorance, that eye disease of ignorance. So here, where it says the not being artificial is chuma mayimpa sana.
Chuma mayimpa. Chuma mayimpa. Chuma kunzo che. Chuma mayimpa tanda no kokore.
chuma mayimpa sana. You can chingi chuma mayimpa. So it's not artificial and it doesn't depend. It's not contingent upon another. Here, contingent upon another, I mean, artificial means here like created by other causes and conditions, and likewise not contingent upon another means not contingent upon other causes and conditions. And so this is the own condition of the specific condition of that which is to be understood by an awareness which is free from the timora of ignorance.
rangi ngoho che jidi yedam medo she tege suma ani yedam medo tege suma kade mena mewa de jine tunan de ba mena ji ten도 자주 sembanam ani 가서래 파로도 침비 지 텐도 자주 semban나 파로도 침비 남 공부를 주대 되는 데 보면은 아니 sem바 자주 semban나 아니 파로 침비 남 공부 주대 강게 치 천이 또바리 제비 자주 semban남 아니 아니 천이 또비지도 까와자라 좀봐 이노.
So then the rest of this quotation says that if you ask, but if you ask, does that exist or not? This own condition, which the nature, which is to be understood by this special awareness. If you ask if that does that exist or not, then the reply is, who says that? If it was non-existent. I'm sorry, did I translate that correctly? The question is, does that exist or not? Not exist. Here referring to this reality, dharmata, nature of things. Does that exist or not? If you ask that, then who says that? And then if that ultimate was non-existent, then for what purpose would the bodhisattvas develop the path of the perfections? And why would it be that in order to understand that nature, bodhisattvas would practice, would make effort through, and take up hundreds of hardships. So if that ultimate was non-existent, then why would the bodhisattvas develop the path of the perfections, and why would they have engaged in all of these hardships in order to understand this nature of things?
Oh yeah, that's another one. 아니 천이 또바 제외지 자주 선반남 까와자라 아니 까와자라 좀 받쳐봐대 담 퇴면 받쳐봐 다 뒤 세제 되라 세제라 리지부 가대 퇴연 담바 세가는 퇴연 담바도 천이라체 퇴연 담바를 많이 받자 퇴연 담바 텐담 담바 여바 만주나니 아니 창받져봐 퇴면 창주를 내가 퇴면 봐 그러면 창받져봐 퇴면 봐 교치 창주기 아니 가서래 또봐 창받져봐 퇴면 봐 교신 대신셔봐 중화양 퇴면 봐 주로 강거지 퇴연담바 여봐 대실 퇴연담바 여봐 대지 창주선바남 퇴연담바라 켜와시 차오 퇴연담바 아니 태권한이라 켜와시 차오 시 퇴연담바 여봐 미나 안에 타도기 대이 창주세대 대리사자 창바대 타발의 체님 와 타바토지도 접았어 봐 창주 대인바다 타도기 냥데 타도기 냥데지 사비튼도 접어접어 태면바 주로 어다디 디 창주세대 냥데라시네 타도기 냥데지 상비 된도 접어접어야 태면바 탕 된다위 안에 도제 안에 된다바 또바 미시베 안에 대도바 제위도 산제지된도 첨바 되매바 산제지된도 첨바 되매바다 아니 야사 자주 선바남 야사 첨보남 된담바라 캐와양 멤버 주베 된담 유비 아니 된담 유바 주베 또데 참바나 야
So then, that's the passage from the commentary on the middle introduction to the Middle Way itself. That, and then it also cites sutra here as supporting evidence for that position, where it says, "O son of the family, son of the lineage, if the ultimate did not exist, and here ultimate is again a name for this dharmata, or final nature of things. If that did not exist, then the conduct leading to purity would be pointless. Here, the term conduct leading to purity is to be interpreted in the sense of the purity here is to be understood as nirvana. The nirvana is the pure state, so conduct which is leading to that, and as it's practiced by Aryas, it would be pointless. And the appearance of the Tathagatas in the world would also become pointless. Because the ultimate exists, therefore bodhisattvas are called those who are skilled in the ultimate. Here, skilled in the ultimate or skilled in reality. Ultimate here is in reference to reality. And so it says that. And and I think that's the end of the quotation. Yeah. And so then the explanation of this is that if ultimate reality did not exist, then it would be pointless to perform the practices in order to, for the purpose of this purity of the final ultimate nirvana. And that's tartuki nyangdegi. tartuki nyangdegi champi dundu.
다 여기 창바져봐 되면봐 주로세 돼 타두기 냥데라 창바잖아. 아니 냥데 또 비텐도 아니 잡아돼 되면봐 줘.
So then, yes, this purity of nirvana, the final nirvana, there would be no point to engage in the practices for the purpose of accomplishing that, achieving that.
오야, 뇌제 또봐 미시고 더 중소한.
뒤충화소.
오야, 태매바탕. 뇌제 아니 태관은 또봐 미시배. 된단데 봐면은 뇌제기 아니 된단데 봐 또봐 미시배. 아니 뇌제디 된단데 봐 또비 치도 아니 상제 지단도 전바디 아니 로아 좀 된데기 아니 잘못하면 인내수 뇌제라 아니 가서래 치지 말로 봐 때문에 치도 아니 상제 지단도 전바 퇴매바다. 자세 장주 선반은 자세 첨부 남냥 전단대발라 캐와 민주와 전단대발만 전단대발라 캐와 민주를 왜 다 전단대발 예반 주비 너대 참배나 아니 루비 첨부 리 루지 전단대발 세자 민바 다 가상 여기 태양인바 세자 민바 명예당 전단 800년씩 태권한이 또비 이시 태권한 대비 이시 매번 마와 라라르시 유메 세대 가장 얘기도 파비냐샤 태권한 대비 이시 매번 마번데 로바마와 코나이노.
So then, furthermore, if it was the case that ultimate reality did not exist, then it would be impossible for the disciples, people being trained by the Buddha, to understand that, and it would be pointless. If that's the case also, then it would be pointless for the Buddhas to appear in the world in order to teach us how to understand that. It would be pointless for the Buddhas to appear in the world in order to enable disciples to understand that. And it will also be the case that the great sons and daughters of the victors, the bodhisattvas, would not be those who are skilled in ultimate reality. So that all being the case, if one has cited these sutras in order to by citing these sutras which demonstrate the existence of ultimate reality, then someone who says that in the system of this great master, the great master Chandrakirti, that ultimate reality is not an object of knowledge, that there is no gnosis which understands reality. Papi nyamsha na dekona.
Papi nyamsha ki tekwana to bi ishi meba.
Meba.
Papi nyamsha na tekwana to ishi meba. Ishi meba ma.
Yeshi meba. So someone who says that the gnosis which understands reality within the meditative absorption of the aryas is non-existent, such people are simply speaking the opposite of the contrary of what is the case.
Oh yeah. That ni nyamsha same ji ngoro. Yu chen so wa ready, yu dan yu chen yu so wa ready, yu dan yu chen so wa jo je gi ani xie wa de nyamsha yi xie men ba. Ta nya bi xie wa jo ko ya de. Da di sun go de. 想想就这来，天气大把来，太困难你多少先能把下给。我说呢，这些个，看是这些个写完的，马应的，伢们下个生活，写完他写下你个马几万你吃了，伢们下个呢，写送比谈比推呢，天气大，一些当太困难你。 有钱一些太当，有太困难你有讲有钱说你是钱呢，啊你说我你是钱呢，太困难你多把抓把太，哦说我你是钱呢，太困难你多把抓把太，啊你谁说过的？现在日小可能个做过的，现在做过嘛的，别做这个的，他也不行，我怎么做给？ 我他也不信我照顾着嘛的，一些听我了没照的，一些听我了有的有钱你原呐，啊你有原呐有点子的照顾他去，有的有钱你个几百的工作着吧，现在一些听我没做被团赢了，没做被团赢了，写完马街写完呢，啊你让些就马街为团了，你们下给生活让些就马街吧嘛，让些就东北你谈了。 啊，你去了去下发行度，有的有些太太跟那娃那边，让你去了去下发行度就是这位团队，是啊。
So then the next point is explaining that that the ultimate reality is not established as such that the subject and object are distinct within the perspective of the uncontaminated meditative equipoise on reality, and this is explained also based upon the commentary on the introduction to the Middle Way, where it says, moreover, the commentary on the Middle Way, introduction to the Middle Way says,
大把来太宽了，说大说，有的有一件说大把的送进来。
大把嘞，可是都被大把呀。
有的有些说大把，说做把是吧？大把了太宽了，太宽了你多说是干大家有的有件做把，在娘下个生活没做把，他也不喜欢做把些个人。
So therefore, it's from thought that that one establishes that reality is understood, reality is known, but it's not such that directly. That is directly here is referring to. Within the context of the meditative equipoise absorbed on.
我个这外地好孤单，我个这外地啦，谈比天呢，一些人太困难呢，有件女士说的钱呢，太困难呢，多把找把，我也给，大把了太困难呢，说这些大把了太困难呢，多少能把下给是的，
大。
你听到一个点，我妈的下个多啊。谈比推呢，谈比推呢，一些人太困难呢，有些说话，你说钱呢太困难呢，大把找把你， 다와라 태권한이 또서 나바 상가데 수레에서나 타냐비 참아레 레마도 전남 경우를 조금 아마레
So therefore, it's through thought that one establishes that reality is understood. Where it says that statement, reality is understood, is established through thought, but not directly. Here, not directly means that within the context, within the state of the meditative equipoise, which is absorbed on reality, then the distinction between subject and object are not made. And then it explains this as follows, that the understanding of reality is established via thought, but it's not directly understood by one thing by means of another. And then the explanation of that is as follows. Because the awareness and the object of knowledge, both of these are unarisen, are unarisen. Okay, so then the explanation of that is as follows. The meaning of the first of these statements, that understanding of reality is posited or presented based upon thought, is the meaning of that is that in positing the understanding of reality by dividing the gnosis and reality as subject and object, differentiating them, individuating them as to two different things, that is merely posited within from the perspective of conventional awareness. But within the perspective of that gnosis, they're not posited in that way. And the meaning of that is that where it says the awareness is unarisen, it refers to, it has the sense of that rangshing ma kebe dunla
rangshing ma je xiao ma je xiao de rangshing ma je witun yu jian te kwana yi dobe lote yu te kwana ni la chula chusha ba jindo ani ga so re ani chula chusha ba jindo rangshing du juru se ka ni na me ba ke da zhe guo de.
So then, with respect to the object, which is is not being arisen by intrinsic nature, here emptiness, it's like water poured in water. So the gnosis, which understands this emptiness, the object which is here described as unarisen by intrinsic nature, that gnosis is like just like water that's been poured into water. So the two are indistinguishable.
Okay, that go. 태권하니 데 아니 태권하니야 아니 가서래 다 동반이디 군도 그 두와 로비 추지 온도 체주 삼모 태권하니디 아니 군도 그 두와 로비 추지 온도 체바니 다디 가서 생각보다 꾸용 무슨 제 선에 나와 잡아 그 지금 나라 가서래 우마 집안 나라 여바 인자 디순과래 저 생각보다 꾸용 무슨 제 세대기 전나지 이시 태권하니라 이시지 태권하니라 샘숨 좀 미주배 꾸코네 무슨도 제지 숨바니 원도 제주 레수 차와데 태권하지 이체 요전지 이세니 태권하니 원도 제비 제바당 나지 롱제 조요 군이 원도 제비 제바보요 제바보디 켐바보고 대원도 제비 촌이 땅아르 세비 셈다 숨좀 미주배 세코나 세대 된다고 원도 제비 촌이 ngara service ta simson ju ku kundo ku juwa onju wa masa kundo ku juwa tena lobi suji ani yin wa kundo ku juwa tena ani yin des ya.
So then the next point is that the way in which reality is realized by means of the elimination or disappearance of the movements of ideation or the roaming of ideation. Here, then it says that object of gnosis, which is reality, the mind and mental factors don't engage in it. It's because mind and mental factors are not engaged in it. It's actualized or realized merely by the body. Here, the exalted body of a Buddha. So this is a quotation from the Introduction to the Middle Way, commentary in reference to a verse that appears in the Introduction to the Middle Way. And then here the explanation of that is that the object of action, which is that which is to be actualized or realized, is reality. And the gnosis, which is the perceiving subject of that, is the instrument which realizes it. And then the Sambhogakaya, the body of perfect enjoyment of a Buddha, is the agent which actualizes or realizes that. That is, it's the knower, the one who knows that. And when that agent or knower, the Sambhogakaya, the way in which it actualizes or realizes that reality is, as explained previously, when it's by means of the cessation or elimination of the roaming or wandering of ideation. Ideation here referring to mind and mental factors.
Oh yeah. Samsung jung juwa lobby chuji yinde. Da dewa la gu kangi is lonje gu kangi is da lonje zogo gu cheba bo lonje zogo chane. Ti mundu chaju de leso chawa de te kwana ni da dang yu yu jani ani chula chusha do songwa mu ngo yeme do so wi shi cheju gu de. gu kangi teni mundu chebe gu shi cheju gu de. Samsung jung dang chawi 다 남도 그 주와 때내 차위 아니 시위랑 신도 셰베 아니 시그레
드롤 쿠칸기 데니 원좀도 제베 쿠데
강기 있어 구 강기 있어 언제 저기 구 강기 대년원도 제베 구데에서 가라 얘게 원도 체주 레서 저와 태코난 유전 이시니 있으니까 태코난 또비 아니 유전 이시 체주 구데 온도 제비 꾸테 샘섬 그 주와 때나 로바게 아니 시위랑 신도 셔 남도 그 주와 때나 로비 아니 시위랑 신 전도 셔베 셔서.
So then the commentary here says the body by which that body of reality is actualized. Here, so the Sambhogakaya, the enjoyment body of the Buddha, is that by which the Gnosis Dharmakaya is actualized or realized, and as said above, then the Gnosis, which has entered into reality, just as water has been poured into water. That gnosis in which reality and gnosis are indistinguishable is the Dharmakaya. So it's the Sambhogakaya which is the by the Sambhogakaya, the Dharmakaya is actualized, and that the Kukangi Deni ngunsumdu tsepe.
꼭 강기 대권한 영혼도 제비 꼭 강한선을 lonje 조고 제바보지 바다지. 와. 다 되게 강 자주문도 지지대 안에 이시체 주고 문도 자주 저와 대권한이다 대 유전이 이시 대영혼도 쳐봐. 인자 된다위 아니 유전의 이시체 주고 대 문도 제비 유전 이시체 주고 대 남도 그 교와 때에 차위 안에 시위랑신监督 제배 시소.
So therefore, the Sambhogakaya is that which actualizes that very Dharmakaya. The Dharmakaya being the subject which knows reality in the way described above, where reality and the subject and object are not distinguished. Rather, they exist as like water poured into water in that indistinguishable way. And that Dharmakaya is, because it's separate from mind and mental factors, these moving, the roaming activity of conceptualization, it's explained as being that which possesses the nature of peace, and it should be understood in that way.
그래서 오야 다 되지라 산제지 풍소 마세나 진예바 첨바라 저 진예바 첨바소라 군대 주로 시간나 풍산제지 풍소 마세세야데 산제지 풍소지 대관은 이시비 신고를 풍소 마시와 셰고를 마도 질 풍소 마시와 셰고 말와 어때 마시바 인상 다 산제지 풍소 마시나 안에 진예바 첨바 알아 진예바 시의 남제 군대 조그래 다 되셔야 되라 산제지 풍소 마시나 진예바 첨바당 아니 가서래 진예비 전탐자라 꾸었다가 조그래 와 아니 진예바 첨바 조그 말이 산제 그 풍소 마시나 아니 진예바 마시나 아니 진예바 산제 그 시발라 로고래 메고 그래 군대 조그래 해야 되라 인자 산제 그 풍소 마시세야디 춘이 시비 생우 풍소 마시바래 dim하마고 인자 대중거다 군대도 주대 여바다 산제지 미점반이 가위 치로 와 연암 풍소 연하 산제 그 청고래 인자 산제 그 풍소 마시세야디 가기도 다 가지고 나와
So then likewise the position that if one says that a Buddha does not see the aggregates, etc., then this becomes a type of deprecation towards both the diversity of things as well as the understanding of the diversity of things, that the Buddha's knowledge of the diversity of things. And then how that occurs is explained in the basic text here is that if a Buddha did not see the aggregates and so forth, the diversity, plurality of things, so if the Buddha did not see the aggregates, etc., then it would be the case that one would be deprecating, undervaluing, underestimating the knowledge of the diversity of things, and as well as all of the things, the diverse things, the aggregates, etc. And the reason for this is because something existing and it not being known by the Buddha, these two are contrary. If the Buddha, to put it in a positive way, if something exists, the Buddha must necessarily know it. So if something exists, and if one says that something exists and the Buddha doesn't know it, then there's a contradiction.
Oh yeah, that deal land la. 남진지 지혜바 첨발라 나네 청거래 남진그 세자 지혜바 뭐 군조바 첨발라 강 천지 안에 군조와 대 군조 지혜바데 나네 청거래 나유연 니여바니 나유라 대나 지혜바 첨발라 지혜비 되남 난고 그래 지혜바 안에 첨발라 지혜비 되남 남바시 난고 그래 만화와 남에도 켐바 디벨로 민베 남바 마샤와 켐바디 아니 남에도 켐바세 남바 마샤와 켐바디 아니 탄조원 디벨로 민베 아니 지에비 남바 샤고 그래 남바 샤네서 남바 샤네 켐고 그래.
So then this brings up the point then that the knowledge of the omniscient knowledge of the totality of things, it has to know the diversity of things by those things appearing to it. Necessarily, it has to know them by these diversity of things appearing to that knowledge of the diversity of things. And because that's the case, then there are two forms of these appearing objects in this context. So then the basic text says, therefore, for the knowledge of the diversity of things, Buddha's knowledge of the diversity of things, the diverse objects must appear. In this system, the reason for that is that in this system, there's no knowledge without an aspect of a thing occurring. Therefore, since in this system there's no knowledge without an aspect, then it's necessary that they appear, that the aspect of them appear. No, number where it says an aspect appears, it has essentially the same meaning as just an appearance has to occur, an appearance has to arise.
마르비 바자지 레비 마다비 내지라 소와 이소 니워티.
So then, regarding these appearing objects, the diversity, the plurality or diversity of these appearing objects, with respect to them, there are two types here. There are those such as the signs and marks. Marks and signs of the Buddhas, which are not affected by the imprints of ignorance. And then there are things such as the impure environment, as well as the impure inhabitants of the environment, which are affected or adulterated, one could say, with the imprints of ignorance.
That it. 가서래. 말이 바자지 말라비 산재기 챔베되다 챔베 어디 담보니 챔베소니 산재기 산 도포ten요 말이 산재기 산라 산재기 연대임라인자 산재기 산라 도포ten매라 산재 산라 요거래 산재기 찬답에서 산재기 연대리 산재 산라 요거래 도포ten매라 단위와 말이 바자지 레비마다 변내지라 써와니 이와 마다버니지니 아니 산재가 사디 아니 그 말을 받아 티파잔 도배 제부 아니 tellatene TV matava nishite dobare. Niwane sadin julobe doba yino.
So then the first of these two are not things that are eliminated or that disappear on the stage of Buddhahood. That is, the signs and marks of Buddhahood are things that exist on the level of Buddhahood. They're the qualities of a Buddha. So they're not objects which are eliminated or disappear on the level of Buddhahood. And the second of these, since on that level of Buddhahood, the cause for them to exist has been eliminated, has disappeared. That here the cause is referring to ignorance and the imprints of ignorance, which give rise to the impure environment and the impure beings, because the cause for those has disappeared, then they as well have disappeared.
Oh yeah. This said the Julo Toba Yino. That is Jella, Senior Tobit Namjen Dang, and a Kasa Shenla, and a Senior but Nanzu Mindrava. Nanzu Mindravati. Nanzu ni Sanjeji Tsembe, Mariba, Mabambi Kasa Nawana, Sanjay Tsembe de, Mariba Mabambi Kasa, Arazo Nawana, and a carrier Sana, Sanjay Tsembe Kunzob Yinzang. Mariba Mabambi, and his Semjing La, Kunzob Namje Shevala, the Namadi, the Najamadi Amari, Tushimadi Amari. Then Mera Yinzang, Nanzuni Sanjay Tsembe, and Mariba Mabambi Kasala Nawana, Rangi Tsenji Madu Shindu, Terenawani, Maripajaji Lebi Wangu, Junjaji Mares, Temple Kora Maripaja and Wangu Junjaji Mares. Oh, my minjis. Yuja Nangangi and a Semjang Juji Sanjay Temple Nangangi, Semjang Juji Kunzo Shewa, Yujan Kunzobi, Yujante, Maripajaji Lebi Wangu Naware. So
then the next point is that there's a difference between the way in which these things, the marks and signs of a Buddha, appear to the omniscience, which understands the plurality of things, versus the way it appears to other persons. The way these appear to the omniscience itself, and then the way they appear to other persons is different. And here other persons would refer especially to people like ourselves, which are still influenced by, under the control of ignorance, and whose minds are adulterated with the imprints of ignorance. So then here it says, the way that they appear, so the marks and signs of a Buddha, when they appear to a person who has not gotten rid of ignorance, they appear, although they are devoid of existing by means of their own intrinsic identity, they appear in that way, as if they existed by means of their own intrinsic identity. And but that object that object itself, the marks and signs, is not doesn't exist by reason of it itself does not exist by reason of appearing by the force of the imprints of ignorance. Instead, it appears for that cognizing that person who is the subject perceiving them. It appears to them in that way by the force of their being affected by the imprints of ignorance.
Oh yeah. That tini kasa xian le na yin tini kasa xian le na wa zam jing we ne yu xian te le na wa ming ba, 是吧？卡萨天着我天那我前边那我天呢，卡萨闲了那我怎么的？俺那马卡说的，马里帕家就往给让个成绩出来的那马用吧。有钱得了啊，那我有卡说，天呢卡萨闲了，他他那我就讲呢，有钱得了那我明白啊，然后呢他他那我也不是啊，这种他今天过来说。 가사 될라 나와나 랑그 천지지 마주신도 태나와니 유디 파자 머리 파자지 레베 왕고 군전지 명기체 그러 아니 유전티 머리비 파자지 레베 왕고 나와 인데스 에 괜히 가사 시행라 대단 나와 좀 정어네 아니 유전 될라 나와 마연바 코랑 근원에 안에 트다 나와래. 참고 코랑 근원에 트다 나와래. 야.
그래.
야. 랑원에 트다 나와 임비체레스. 랑원에 트다 나와 임비체레. 랑원에 트다 나와 임비체레.
디
달려가라와.
셈베 크랑
산제기 챔비 마리바 마밤비 가살라 나와나 랑게 마주신도 텔 나와레스 나와디 유데 마리비 레비 왕고 주준자지 마레스 유젠 섬쟁 규지 유젠 코랑 마리 바자지 왕고 레비 왕고 나와 연데 괜히 나와데 가사 시엔라 나와시 대다 나와 좀 중원에 마이바 응원에 유젠들 나와 마이바 아니 유 코랑 응원에 와 챔비 코랑 응원에 아니 랑원에 주가 나와레 랑원에 주가 나와레 랑원에 안에 대단 나와 임비체를 라시지 마루 진짜 라시 주가 나와 임비체를
디 가서 신을 때려나와 참기 눈에 요친데
아이 좀 와서 도시라서 나중에 상제지 참배 마르바 마밤비 가살라 나와나 랑게 체니지 마주신도 태나와데 유데 마르 바자지 레베 왕고 중화 마레 상제게 참배 마르 바자지 레베 왕고 중화 마르와 중화 왕고 준제지 마레스 삼쟁의 주지 유젠 데 마르 바자지 레베 왕고 나와 인데 삼쟁의 주지 아니 유젠세라 마르 바자지 레베 나와 태양 가사 현실에 나와 좀 지팅거나 말해서 가사 현실에 대다 나와 좀 용어네 유전들에 나와 마인바 와 아니 랑원에 참배지 랑원에 아니 랑그 천이지 마주시도 대 나와 임실
데 가서 신을 때다 나와 참기 눈에 유친데라 나와 멤버
가사현, 대니 가사현라 대다 나와 점지 아니 참배대 아니 가소랑을 주가 나왔던 저 마인바, 그봐. 참배 코랑 그거네 아니 랑그 천이 좀 마주신도 랑그 천이 주와 마르바 마바비 가사 나와레스. 야, 아제 가르치면서 가르치면서.
데니 간서 신을
제단데 가사레 랑그 천이지 마루신도 유대 마루에 바자지레베 왕그 중위 군자지 마레스 챔베대다 자제그 챔베 마루 바빠베 가살라 나와 되잖아 챔베대다 랑그 천이지 마루신도 대 나와데 유대 자제그 챔베대 마루 바자지 왕그 중위 레베 왕그 중위 군자지 마레스 유챔베로 와 유전 섬쟁기 규지 아니 참배남이 유전데 말을 바자지 레벨 왕그 나와래 와 유전데 섬쟁기 왕그 말을 바자기 레바 태양 되니 가사 현라 나와 점증원에 유전들 나와 말 참배디 나와 많이 봐 참배 코랑 그 랑원에 아니 랑그 마주신도 아니 랑그 천이 주와 나와래
셈베 크랑
삼베 코랑 거네.
랑게치니 기투번
마르랑게 천이 마주시 랑게 천이 주와 나와레 스타에게 두고도와 섬쟁 지지 안에 참변나위 안에 가서래 말이 바자글레 시와텔라.
라게 겐 고즈마소 강서 시장 수
가사 현지라 랑게 천이지 마주신도 나와데 나위 군jen지 안에 섬쟁 주지 참변나위 미시텔라. 안에 참배되다란 게 천이지 마주신도 랑그 천이 주와 나와 말레스.
가서 신선아 디 박바야
대체 담면자 요라 가사 샴바지 나외가
상기랑 요르바
상제 연구 말와들 랑그 천이 주와 나야.
알레 공부다 시마소
다음에 들은 대셔 단도 양조 잘.
I just don't. I mean, it may be easy.
단도 양조
Looks to me, but I'm not sorry.
말래.
Sorry.
저한테 삼을 당시지 para들라.
I have to look at this over break.
시베제 조심해도 장 그 남자 전라 제바 쇼이 담 구루 되나 메자라